Sanborn. From ABC's loving Randolph, Mantooth. Women's rights advocate Cecile White. And trailer park movie critic Joe Bob Briggs. And now, the star of Politically Incorrect, Bill Maher.
Thank you, folks. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, and good reason for it. Because it's baseball today. You know that baseball started finally, I know. Long time coming, and Doc Gooden said he was all nervous and sweaty and jittery, and then he heard the season starting. Yeah, sports is controversial stuff. Well, it is. The Foreman fight, then, come on. You heard about that whole, did you see it, the George Foreman fight? He defeated a German fighter half his age, Max Schmeling. No, no, the guy's name is Axel Schultz. I think he's in Guns N' Roses. Apparently he's fighting now. Anyway, he beat Foreman badly. Everybody could see that. And Foreman won the fight anyway, so they're saying it's corrupt. And they said if the fight was held in Germany, two things. One, Foreman would have lost. And two, the city of Munich definitely would have run out of strudel. Because after the fight, Foreman was screaming for Tyson. Not the fighter, the chicken. He's a fat... Well, speaking of bloat, Arnold Schwarzenegger is in this month's issue of Family Circle. He says that he is surrounded by yes men. And today, his agent, his manager, and his personal assistant all agreed. Now, he was over in Atlantic City the other day with Sylvester Stallone. They were opening the new Planet Hollywood there. They're always opening... Who cares? I mean, it's like every week they open one. There's one in Phnom Penh. The new Phnom Penh Planet Hollywood. Yeah, but no, they were in Atlantic City opening the new Planet Hollywood. They were fashionably late, but on the good side, they did nab the second Oklahoma bomber. So, they're, because they're big crime fighters. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they're as big as their image. No, Stallone, he's getting married to that supermodel, Angela Everhart is her name, yes. And he's making a new movie. It's called Rocky Marriage. And did you hear about the big reggae sunsplash? You know what that is? That's like a festival they have for... Yeah, the same guy has an opinion on everything. There's always one in every crowd. No, it's a reggae. It's a big reggae festival for people who love reggae and all the things that go with it. And but now there's danger that it's going to be canceled. They said they're going to have to cancel it. And the fans there, the people, are so upset that they planned a big protest, a march. But then they decided to just lie down on the floor with a big bag of Doritos instead. They just... Maybe that was... Potheads, probably. And finally, the Prime Minister of Japan, he is giving $1.5 million to George Bush to help build the George Bush Library in Houston, Texas. And Bush was so moved, he said, if I'd known I'd get this kind of reaction, I would have thrown up on the Sultan of Brunei. All right, thank you. It's all been, the show. Let's meet the panel. First, the host of the movie channel's Joe Bob's Drive-In Theater. His alter ego, John Bloom, is starring opposite Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci in Casino. Trailer Park movie critic, Mr. Joe Bob Briggs. Thank you, sir. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
A leading authority on women's legal issues and matrimonial law, attorney Cecil White. How are you? Nice to meet you. All right, earlier I just had to absorb that. Earlier in his career, he starred in the series Emergency and could currently be seen in loving Randolph, Mantooth. How are you? And one of the preeminent saxophone players of our time, his latest album is Pearls, David Sanborn. Okay. Well, welcome aboard, panel. I couldn't help but notice that's a lovely piece.
I was hoping you would.
Yeah. What is that? Nothing had to die for that, did it?
Yeah, it's cock feathers.
It's cock feathers.
Yeah.
Boy, it's.
Any other questions?
I think anytime a cock goes down, it's bad news.
Especially if it makes a hat, right?
Is that really made of cock?
Cock feathers. Cock feathers.
Cock feathers?
Yes, it certainly is.
But the cock doesn't have to die for that.
I would think it would have to be skinned.
Any of you boys want to grab a beer?
Want to grab something?
Now, and you're like a lawyer lady.
I'm a lawyer. No
Yeah.
one's ever accused me of being a lady, but if you like that particular nomenclature.
But you wouldn't wear that in court, would you?
The hat, I certainly did this morning.
Oh, you wore that to court
I did,
this morning?
Indeed.
Was it a divorce case?
Yes.
Well, we're gonna talk about divorce. I've used up all the time talking about your stupid hat, but
It's kind of like a conquest hat, if you know what I mean.
yeah, well,
I didn't think of it that way, but that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
right. Now, let me get everybody's status here. You are divorced, married?
I'm divorced.
You're divorced recently?
2 years.
2 years?
Divorced many, many times.
Seriously, many? How many?
And I missed all of them.
Well, I could have used you. 3.
3 that you know of.
3 that are, yeah. 3 that are official, yeah.
David?
I'm divorced once and married twice.
Wow, so everybody here has had experience. Okay, when we come back...
No. I've been married for 40 years to the same man.
I know, but you have experience from the other side of it.
You mean divorcing people,
yes,
others,
these
yes.
actually felt the pain you exploited. No, I'm just kidding about it. We come back, we'll talk about it.
If you'd like to be a member of our studio audience, call 212-512-8959.
Okay, welcome back, and we were about to talk about divorce.
We have to answer that because I'm not an exploiter, and that's unfortunately...
Oh, I know. I was
No,
just
it's very
kidding.
important. No, but that's the perception that the public holds us in, and that's wrong.
No one would look at you and think exploiter.
You need us. That's not exploitation. That's need.
Right.
The system itself is needed. Unfortunately, in our society, we've made divorce easy, and that's bad because it's not good
Well,
for
I'm sitting
future
here with
generations.
3 losers. Three. 3 recently divorced men. What do you mean by the
And how about
system?
you? I mean, how about you?
I have never been married to my knowledge.
Well, then when you do, we can do a prenup for you, so that prenuptial agreement. So.
Well, that's an interesting question I was going to ask, is why are prenups supposedly not worth the paper they're written on? I mean,
Who said that?
So many times we hear about people sign a prenup and then they just get torn up.
Not at all. If they are brought, if they're done properly,
Ivana
if they're
Trump,
drafted,
who was supposed to be here,
she upheld
and
that,
rudely canceled out on us at the last minute.
That agreement was upheld. That agreement was upheld. She initially
no, it wasn't.
Oh, it's
the
certainly...
headline in the Daily News was Ivana better deal.
No.
It's true.
No, but she got somewhere between $10 and $20 million out of that in a couple of houses.
Oh. Well, that's good.
But the agreements are
That
good.
was her prenuptial
That was her
deal?
Prenup. Yes.
Is
Well,
that
what
half?
happened?
Is that half?
No, but
See,
she was
that-
never entitled to half. She had an original prenup, and then she had post-nuptial, post-marriage contracts. It was updated every couple of
This
years.
sounds like a merger. That doesn't sound like a,
Marriages today are mergers. They're economic partnerships. You're not supposed to fall into the arms of somebody who you allegedly love or in love with.
I have trouble with that.
Yes.
I have trouble with that.
Even at your moment of bitterness.
Well,
Don't you think? I mean, even
I do have trouble
and
with it.
I don't mean that facetiously. I mean, I have my moments too where I lose hope and have despair. But at the worst moment, I still think that it shouldn't be something that goes into the law. It should be in our heart.
That's exactly how it.
Well, if it's in your heart to begin with, it should be in your heart when it finishes up. And by the time it's finished up, it's in your wallet. And if you don't have a good agreement, you're not going to end up with a wallet. And that's why,
I just have trouble
you need
sitting
us.
down with somebody I've just said, I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Now let's do a deal.
If you don't do that and you make considerable money and your spouse doesn't, you're going to be taken to the proverbial cleaners.
Well,
Because alimony in
you may
French
even have to
means
give up
all
your
the money.
saxophone. I mean, that may work.
Well, let me ask you what.
Is that true?
Yes.
Who cares if it's true? It's funny.
No, I'd like
Is
to.
it true? Since when do we start asking, is it true on this show? My God, I've had more important
I'd like to clear
questions.
something up. I am currently married, just so I don't get in
Yes,
trouble when
I
I
And he
understand.
asked for
But
my
you
card
went through-
before we came on. Isn't it?
No.
But you
honey.
went through. Apparently he's married to the cameraman. That's odd.
Well, you know,
But-
can I
yes,
speak
sir.
for white trash America here
Yeah.
for a minute? They always, when they have these conversations about splitting everything, in most states, you practice in New York, I imagine, right?
New York, Washington.
Well, in
Virginia,
most
Maryland.
states, see, the rule is you just split it up 50-50. Now they say, well, that's unfair because one person made more money or one person contributed more. But see, we like that because all there is to split normally in 99% of the marriages is a $15,000 Discover card bill. And so you want her to take half of that with her.
Well, the concept of half is really something that the newspapers print and people believe.
Oh, no,
Marriages
no,
are
no.
generally not split. New York is equitable distribution.
Well, Texas
about
is just
10
give her half and give him half
Texas
and
is
walk
community
away.
property. So is California
There's
and
about 10
Oklahoma.
states where it's half.
How do
Yeah,
you
that's community
ascertain-
property.
Dave, what
know,
did you
what-
lose?
I lost nothing.
You lost nothing?
I don't think so. It's been so long that I don't remember.
But you didn't lose half of what you had.
No, I didn't. No.
But he didn't have
We
anything
worked
at the time.
something
It was
out.
25 years ago.
Oh,
How
you-
was
Yeah, it was
it?
25 years ago.
25 years ago.
Well, about that, yeah.
Wow.
Well, see, I think it's better if you just have some rule this is the one rule. This is it. 50-50, that's all. Then you can't,
There'd be
excuse
no
me,
room-
but then all the
there'd be no
lawyers
room
don't
for
get
us
all the
to-
money.
No. We have to have some maneuvering. There has to be some
Is
maneuvering.
there ever a case when a spouse gets more than half?
Absolutely.
Well, why
Now,
does there
why
have
is that
to be
equitable?
maneuvering?
Why is that fair?
Well, because there are certain criteria. Well, I can talk New York because I know that the best. I do most of my practicing here. New York has several criteria, about 18 criteria to determine equitable distribution. That's not support, by the way. That's not maintenance. That's not alimony. That's saying what you bring into the marriage may be yours, may be part of the marital funds, but everything that's built up during the marriage belongs to both of you. And depending upon how long...
Whether or not who makes it, who
Oh,
earns the money?
Well, most men have a concept that they earn the money and the women make babies, and that's not, equal.
18 criteria for lawyers and judges to argue over?
Yeah.
You know
Isn't that
how much
fun?
money that is?
How much money we make.
But see, this is what a lot of men around the country are asking now, is that if it is a situation where it's 50-50, and it is about in 10 states, shouldn't there be a law that says that the money should be apportioned to exactly what we can investigate who contributed what to a marriage?
We do that in equitable distribution. For example, if the parties are married for well, this was 25 years ago, but if the parties are married for 25 years and both of them have worked during the marriage and both of them have helped to build up the assets, it's easy. It's when you have the man working for 25 years and the woman staying home, taking care of the house, giving birth to the children, taking care of the children, that a lot of men complain, well, she didn't do anything to build up the assets. Why should she get an equitable share of what I have? When men get the idea that bearing children, cleaning the house, chauffeuring the children, acting as a social being for all of you contributes at least equally, if not more, to the marriage, then we'll have a more equitable
you're lumping all the men. You know, well, I agree with you, but you're lumping all men together. You're saying when men, well, you said it, when men finally get this idea.
Lawyers say one thing and mean something else,
I think I can say that I understand that. I really do, and I'm certainly not in favor of having women. Okay, well, you're out, and go. That certainly didn't happen to me. But I do have a little problem when all of a sudden these set rules have been set down. We can't argue these rules. This is what we're stuck with. And somebody else makes these decisions for us, and the men usually are sitting back rather mute. And we wait for the final decision.
Which is what we do best. Let's be honest about that. I have to take a break. I'm so sorry. We'll come back.
Well, write to us at Politically Incorrect, 514 West 57th Street, New York, New York, 10019.
Okay, we're back, and we are arguing about divorce, and I have never been divorced, but I certainly know my way around a failed relationship. So, I'm not to be excluded altogether. Now, you were arguing, Con, but let me just say, what about the case of somebody like Johnny Carson? You said if a woman has the babies and stays home, yes, of course. People say, what about somebody like his third wife, who came aboard well after he had already had the babies and established himself? Is that fair that she would get half?
Well, that's California, and that's community property, and that means half. Those states that have community property have half.
You think that's fair?
Equitable distribution, as it's done in New York, is much fairer than community property.
Anything where you know the rules in advance is fair, because there's always a moment that's like, the last George Scott in the last scene of The Hustler, you owe me money. There's always one of those moments, where everything changes.
Right.
The law particularly, you can know the rules in advance. Look at O.J. Simpson. All the rules are there, and they're being broken every moment. The law particularly, you can know the rules in advance, but depending upon the players, fairness doesn't always.
I have a problem with.
You've got a lot of problems.
I really just have one.
I'm happy to solve them.
I have a problem is that when I meet a woman that I want to marry, because I believe in the institution of marriage, I don't want to be searching around for a state that I can go to, like, what's a good state?
Come to Texas.
But I don't want to have to do that, and I don't want to sit down and do it.
What I tried to tell you before is that you can make the decisions if you have a pre-marriage contract. What you do is you decide exactly what's going into the marriage, how much each of you is
saying. That takes the romance out of it.
How can you say to somebody,
you sign this? Well, that's before you take your clothes off.
It does. I agree.
There's no way.
Darling, I'll promise you anything if you just go to bed with me. That's nonsense,
Well, I suppose that is nonsense, but then I'm very nonsensical, because I still believe that if I love somebody, they're not going to take me to the cleaners.
No, but they're going to take you to court, and the lawyers are going to take you to the court.
She didn't.
Yes. The lawyers are going to take me to the court.
So what you're saying is.
Don't love us. Don't love us.
Because
you don't get a cop like that for sitting on your ass. Let me tell you. All right, after take a break, we'll be back. Talking about what Johnny Carson's third wife deserved, and let me just say, and then you can answer, but I think I come down on your side, the romantic side, because I think a lot of times people say, well, what did she contribute? Babies, something specific. I don't think you can really measure it that way. I mean, I think a lot of times what a woman contributes to the marriage is something intangible. It makes somebody happy, and without happiness, you can't do your work.
And
so even if the
without
woman
money,
is
you
just
can't be
there
happy.
in somebody's life, that...
But see, the interesting thing, but Bill, you say the woman, you know, remember Joan London got divorced?
Yep.
And the guy said, I was there for her, I was hanging around, I was
Yep.
producing her show, I didn't make any money, she made all the money,
Yes.
so I want your money. It was not popular with the feminists. It was not a popular case with feminists. But it's the same thing, right, in reverse.
What about Larry Fortensky? He gave up his career. Has he been on one construction site since he married Elizabeth Taylor? That man has not mixed one bit of concrete.
How do you do these? How do you do these prenuptials, though? I don't understand how you could possibly
With a
say,
computer and a
honey,
law book and
no, honey, I need to talk to you about something. I trust you 100%. I love you so much. This is just in case, in a long time in the future, maybe at some point, if you start hating my guts, I know you won't, but if you do, maybe we should sign this just like and put it in a safety deposit box just because it'll
Right.
make the
That's
banker.
too
You ever hear of a
wimpy.
cell
That's much too wimpy. You go up to her and you
No.
say to her, darling, this is an economic relationship as well as a romantic one. We're going to sign this piece of paper to make sure that when we go into the marriage, we love each other, but when we leave the marriage, if we do, we'll both have an equitable share of what
So in
each
other
of
words-
us, and both of us have built up during the marriage.
So in other words, I do give or take a few years.
Well,
Yeah.
that seems to be what when I got married, that was not the case. When we got married, you got married forever. Now people try it out and see
A
if it fits. If it
prenuptial
doesn't
agreement
fit,
is a
you try something else.
self-fulfilling prophecy for failure.
That's exactly right.
Isn't that what it is?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
His way is
Wait
like...
a second. Let me ask you a question. Do you have, hold it. Do you have insurance?
Do I have
Do
insurance?
you have car insurance? Do you have life insurance? Do you have disability insurance? Before you
Yeah, but
went
I
to
didn't
bed with whoever
marry
you
a
went to bed with,
Honda.
did you take an AIDS test? Did you? Did any of you take an AIDS test before you went to bed with someone? Huh?
Well, that's a little personal.
Well, do you have insurance? Do you have disability, life? This is insurance. This is insurance against a situation where a marriage fails and some judge tells you what you're going to give up rather than you decide in advance what you're going to have and what you're going to give up. Makes perfect sense to me.
Right, well, it doesn't to us. So you take your cock out and go home. All right, we're going to thank our guests, Cecil White, David Sanborn, Randolph, Joe Bob Briggs. See you tomorrow with Ed Begley, Jr., Betty King, Floyd Brown, and Mario Cantone. Thank you, folks.